Thanking you. Yeah. So this one, I don't know, it really, like, I've been kind of holding this back for months because I wanted to save it for, like, this moment. And, like, I totally understand if you don't want to, like, put it in or yet. But, I mean, I got really emotional and a bit teary about this one because... No, like, one of the big differences, and it was like I kind of see it as a positive in a weird way, is that on your Instagram feed, like on what you post up, in the 4 years that you've had this Instagram, like you said, you don't edit out anything. You don't take a photo down. Like, everything's up there, and I was able to go back to when you were, like, much littler, and I don't know, like, you have your quotes. You have those selfies with the quotes. You have your holiday photos in Bali, right? Yeah? And then it gets down to, like, where you had, like, your cutting, and you had, like, your girlfriend, and you had, like, drunk photos and, like, hickeys and stuff like that. And I was just like, you know, like, that's so kind of, one, admirably honest. It's also kind of scary, and you're showing, like, a bit of reality into something a lot of teenagers deal with. And it was really brave to put that up. And I saw a lot of comments, you know, posting, they were saying, oh, you shouldn't put this up, and some were saying you should. And, like, if you don't want to put this in, I totally understand, I totally get that.
No, that's cool.
But, I mean, you know, like, going through your posts and, like, seeing some of them, like, why don't you edit? Like, why don't you take them down? Or why do you keep them up?
I keep a lot of them up because, to me, though it sounds bad, it was like almost like an online diary for me, and I've been through so much in the 4 years that I've had this account. Like, it's seen me at my worst and it's seen me at my best. And though it hasn't always helped me in the most positive ways, it's been there all the same, and it's seen, yeah, as I said, it's seen me at my worst and it's seen me at my best. And, like, that's a lot of things that I couldn't share with anyone else. Like, I would post it, and I don't take them down because, like, I can look back on it and I can kind of go, like, this is where I was 4 years ago, but, like, look at where I am today. Like, I feel like I've come so far, especially from last year. It's close to 2 years ago. There goes my phone. Close to 2 years ago now. I mean, I tried to kill myself and I was laying in a hospital bed. So my Instagram's seen that. Like, my Instagram's been through that with me, and it means so much to have so many of my followers that have, like, kind of been there, kind of, like, watching and kind of seeing how it's, like, evolved and how I've kind of grown from that. But yeah, I wouldn't take any of it down because it has been there, and it is, like, I went through that and I was there, but I'm here now, so it doesn't matter.
Sorry. Okay. Because, like, sorry. Again, off on another tangent, is that, like, you know, I chose every person because I knew that either I didn't know them entirely well, or I wanted to know their story, or I felt like I did know you more because I went through your Instagram feed and I was wondering, you know, like, she has filtered everything, so I'm not getting the full story. And, you know, when you do put stuff online, is it the real you, or is it like it's an edited version of you? And I really felt like, even though everyone does edit to a certain point, and like you were just saying, everyone does edit, like, you have this, like, honesty in it, and you, I mean, would you say that you put, like, a lot of value into your Instagram because of that? Like, you have put a lot on there, and a lot is online, and a lot of people, over 6,000 people have seen that. So, like, would you say that you put a lot of, remember the bit, but, to put the answer in, but, question, sorry.
Fuck.
Put the thing to the thing.
Can you grab that?
Yeah.
It's dying. It's dying.
How does talk?
Ah, fucking terrible.
You think I might use this one for the last bit, right?
Yeah. What?
That is good sitting.
Yeah, as long as that one is.
It's okay, so it doesn't die.
Okay. So, would you say that's like a really kind of big part of you, in a sense?
Yeah, my Instagram is like a massive part of me and like a lot of my recovery as well. Because like, I mean, you can see the change from like probably about, I'm going to say a year ago, like a post from a year ago to like a post recently, like I think the recent one is probably yesterday. Like if you look at the difference in the two, like you can see the change like in me. So I think that yeah, like it has been there for me and like yeah, it is a big part of like who I am and like how far I've come.
Yeah. So, saying that, do you think do you think you portray yourself like a different version of you than what you put online?
I think that the person that like you see on my Instagram and that kind of thing, though the photos are heavily filtered, the quotes in that are always so true and so real to how I am feeling. So I feel like though the photos might not be the real me, the quotes and what I post as the captions are always the real me and always as close to me as I pretty much let anyone ever get, because it is such like, because normally I post, like if I post when I'm really down, then it's always quite, like it's never like I feel like shit today, like my life is just so sucky or whatever. It's always like it's always like, it always means that, but it's not always said in those words. So it is, I think that the quotes are more me than anything else.
Do you want to leave? We're in the middle. We're almost done. We're so close to being done.
Like, I have to go though
Yeah.
to this meeting, so do you want to pack stuff in my car?
We can just go there.
Yeah, we'll send it.
With all your stuff?
Yeah,
What about babies?
The cameras are almost full, Mum. I really can't do this right now. Please give us like 2 minutes.
I'll see you later.
See ya.
Sorry, it's like almost out of battery.
Alright, we're good.
Just gonna have to skip that one. Saying that, and knowing that question, do you reckon like our age group puts that sort of honesty into their feed and the photos that they put out, or do they kind of have this, do you reckon that they do have this edited version of themselves? More likely.
I think that each person's Instagram or Facebook or whatever is entirely their own, and if, I mean, I think a lot of people probably do put up like an edited version of themselves, unless it's maybe their private. Like I feel like a lot of people's private accounts are quite close to them, but like their main accounts I would say are probably totally edited, like, and that like what you see on their main accounts is what they want you to see, rather than who they actually are or the real them.
Okay, last question. Growing up without knowing any like difference, what do you think are some of the challenges our generation has faced with social media and constantly having our phone at our sides, or do you think it affects us at all?
Question and the answer.
Question and the answer.
I definitely think that social media and having our phones to us, having our phones constantly with us, does affect us. Whether it's negatively or positively, I think it depends on the person and how. Because I mean, like, if you read all of your negative comments and always kind of take everything that is being said about you to heart, it's always going to affect you in a bad way, because you can't just like ignore what's like the negativity that is being said. But I mean, if you can kind of take every comment that's said to you with a grain of salt, then it I mean, I'm not going to say it doesn't affect you, but like it might not have as much of an effect as if someone was to take that entire comment like to heart. I mean, I know that I've taken a lot of comments to heart quite easily, but I mean, I've had my account for 4 years now, so I've kind of learned that it is my account, and if I want to post something, then I'll post it. Like, I don't really give a damn what everyone else says. I'm not gonna